Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with as always? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pond. Episode 92. I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Part 2. Motherfuckers.
Actually, that's rough. I mean, we're going to talk about it.
Is that too soon?
Well, because they still have like 40 hours of live support.
No,
That
okay.
shit's...
Can-
All right,
can
well,
we start
hold on. Before we get into it, 92. Quite the accomplishment. 92. We're here. They said it couldn't be done. Triple digits on the way. Or stop triple digits, then the universe.
That's right.
Eat shit.
That's right. So, in case y'all hadn't heard by now, there's a submarine that went to go visit the Titanic remains, and they lost contact with it 2 hours after departure.
No,
It's
it's not a
supposed to.
submarine. First of all, it's a submersible. It's a
So,
fucking death trap coffin that some crazy fuck built that literally has cameras mounted on it. That's how you see. It has a monitor. It's like a hollow tube with a monitor, two
they
side
use a
panels,
they use a
a
X they use an
Logitech,
Xbox controller.
a Logitech
Yeah.
Xbox controller. Like this, mine,
To
I
guide it, to
believe,
guide it.
is
Yeah.
Logitech, and it's nicer. And that's a shitty
Okay,
controller.
but before we go on, I just want to say because you already set me off because you said they have 40 hours to live. Okay, well hours go, and so when they said that, like it was like 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago. So now like it's how about and we're on a recorded podcast, so I think we should specify it. It's This is recording Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. Uh, they are supposed to run out of air by Wednesday afternoon
Dude, that's just wild
or
to me.
Wednesday night.
That shouldn't be an attraction. That's a death trap.
Wednesday night. Yeah, yeah.
And there's like what, a British billionaire, one of the richest men in Pakistan, and his son are on that thing. It's like the only. I mean, and I'm not.
They
Look,
and they were on Bezos's blue penis ship.
mm-hmm.
The
The
the guy
cock
that's
rocket. They topped on
yeah,
the cock
yeah,
rocket. Yeah,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, they were
Now,
there.
now he's stuck at the bottom of the sea with his annoying son.
They made it to the Mile High Club, like literally riding a cock. Um, but no, I mean, there's a certain type of like fucking crazy person that would go do that. And if you're a billionaire, you kind of are into doing that wild shit. Well, that one guy, the British guy, has like 3 Guinness Book World Records for doing like wild shit. Every old boomer with a shit ton of money thinks they're like Tony Stark or Lex Luthor, or they have some complex.
But this guy's actually doing it. He's doing it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you could say that
I mean,
Elon Musk
he
is
like he
like
went
Lex Luthor.
he got on the but Elon Musk hasn't been to the Titanic,
Yeah,
has
but
he? Talks about going
he's
to Mars.
building
Bitch,
rock.
he hasn't even been to space, has he?
No, but
Has he been to space?
but he'd be
No.
sending.
He's like, I'll let you idiots do it.
Yeah, that's almost smarter. Lex
Yeah, well,
Luthor
get
barely.
off Elon Musk. He doesn't deserve
No,
time.
I'm just saying they're all like when you reach
Hey
that
Elon,
class.
Twitter still sucks.
Whenever you reach that class, I mean, I swear people just go fucking crazy. They start doing wild shit. I want to get in some other rich guy's tube that's controlled with an N64 controller. And supposedly they lost communication at like 9,000 feet. The Titanic's at 12,000 feet. I'm not getting in some random white guy's
2.4
tube.
miles.
Random white guy's tube and going down 12,000 feet to go see like where the body of one of the greatest love betrayals of all time happened. There's room on that big chunk of wood, dude. That's bullshit. And then the old lady just throws it back in the water. Like, what are you trying to prove? Somebody's gonna find
She's
it
like,
later.
I didn't need this shit either.
That was the dumbest shit ever. Because now someone's gonna find it later and be like, "Hey, oh fuck, look, there it is. I found it." Like they're not gonna find that. You just threw it randomly in the ocean. Get the fuck out
Well,
of
maybe
here.
it will help somebody later.
Help who?
So people who are stranded,
With our literal blood.
the people,
frozen
the people,
blood diamond.
no, the people of Titan who are stuck now next to the Titanic.
No man.
Also, okay, but
I mean,
also they might not be at the bottom 12,000 feet because like it has weights on it, and the weights, even if all the shit systems went out, like supposedly they're still able to get the weights off. However, they can't open it from the inside. So even if they're at the surface, they're still trapped in that thing, and they're still relying on the air that's already in there. So they could be like, visible from like a plane, but nobody knows where they are, and like
could
if
have
they
like
could just
drifted
open
off a course. Yeah, like it's
they
wild,
could have
dude.
just
That's
open the door, then they would be fine.
And I hope they're all okay. And it's not even trying to make light of the situation, but that's just like wild to me. Like, I'm almost surprised there's not more stories like this. Where it's like Richard Branson like tries to test human pterodactyl suit and like crashes in Fiji. Like that's almost because there's just certain people who are like, yeah, I want to get.
This shit is so ghetto. like I saw like a report they did on this like 3 or 5 years ago or something, and the guy like like that's how I found out about the controller. But then like they have like all this shit that they bought from like a warehouse store, and like they got at a construction site, or like the weights are just like tubes that were cut and like from like metal tubes that they just like strap on there. And then the guy who is in the boat, I mean, or the submersive right now, so at least the guy who started this whole thing, he's in the fucking, he's going down with the ship,
Yeah, dude.
like the
Imagine,
captain of the
imagine,
Titanic.
imagine. Like, I bet you they're really fucking pissed
I
at
know,
this dude. But they
but
could
you gotta
also be
stay
stuck
hopeful.
somewhere. But
You gotta
that's
be stay you gotta stay, I mean, basically, like, the only difference to them until somebody finds them or they die is if it's going to be super hot because they're at the surface and they're just getting baked in that thing, or if it's going to be super cold because they're at the bottom of the ocean and it's
yeah.
freezing.
Well, it's yeah. It's that's super scary, man. I would never do something like that. That's why I've always said life is like risk
I'm
management.
claustrophobic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like risk
Yeah, and
management,
like
and that's
oh, I
not.
saw the Titanic. Get the fuck out of my
The
face. Who cares?
Titanic's like a massive
I saw the
graveyard.
Titanic when I was 10.
That's like a man. No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, the fascination with it for me is
Like if
weird because like tons of people died there. So you want to go down in a submarine and go look at like a big mass grave of just like people who like tragically died because of like shitty
Right.
net.
And I like if we were going down there to like rob the Titanic, come back with like and be rich because
No,
we
you
have
couldn't
like a
do it,
bunch.
dude. That you'd be cursed. That there's got to be some Titanic curse,
Okay,
man.
but it that would be the only way that you could start talking me into it is like we're about to be
Some
millionaires.
oceans.
We just have to go get this loot.
Instead, it'd be like Ocean's One, and it'd be like everyone goes down in one submarine, and you have like Ocean's 11, but for the Titanic, that would be tight.
That would be tight.
That sounds like a James Bond plot. Like, oh, there's some like sunken treasure that if used in this way and the light hits it, creates a super laser, and the Indiana
That sounds
Jones.
more like Indiana. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
that's
that
what I'm
sounds like
saying.
Indiana Jones,
Yeah, it could
not
be
James
any
Bond.
or James Bond because then it'd be something lucrative, and we would put it on the moon planet. That's when you got to get out there. Then or ninjas would show up and like attack, and all of a sudden James Bond is a
And it
ninja.
would be kind of racist too, like when they did. They'd
Oh,
be like,
most definitely.
so, like, while you brought it up, have you seen the video? I want to be ninja.
Oh yeah, dude, that's insane. That's like the most offensive.
I
Don't,
want to be
no, don't, dude,
ninja.
stop it.
I
Don't even
want
do
to
it.
chop chow down, take chow down to Chinatown.
Stop, dude. That's
I
terrible.
almost a ninja.
Dude, that's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. That's so out of touch.
I use my nunchucks while
Stop.
I'm feeding ducks.
Stop. It might be copywritten, dude. You need to stop. She was serious about
I
that.
sent that. I sent that to the. Yeah, I sent that to the group text that I'm on with the homies out here in California, and one of them is from South Korea. Shout out Steve, Steve Boy Wonder. Um, and I was like, I sent him I was like quoting that song, and then I was like, Steve gets it. It was everybody in the group's like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, dude.
Sorry, y'all.
No, that song's absurd. And the best is in that video. There's like an Asian woman like standing off in the background
Yeah,
on our
yeah,
right,
the token one like posted right,
just
so that
like
she's, like, in the center
watching
of the camera.
like
Yeah,
what is going on right now.
yeah, that's tough to watch.
Yeah, that's extremely tough to watch.
Extremely. Okay, so back to the Titan which is the name of the submersive. What are we calling it?
It's a submersible, so
Submersible.
it's not a submarine. It's just something that like
Okay,
goes down.
it's a weird
That's
banana-looking
wild.
vessel.
Why would you get in someone's like gray banana tube that's
Yeah, that's
controlled
what
with
it
like
is.
a
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 controller? You know, they're like, oh, I got to use my Dreamcast. So, my visual memory card's down. I can't drive this thing. I better charge it. Like, get out of here.
Well,
That's crazy.
they use fans to move, and they only can move, which I don't understand. Well, I guess okay, they can only move up and down or left and right, but they can't move. Maybe it's only forward and backward, left and right. I don't know, but it's two dimensional like that, and so
Terrible idea.
that's why the controller works. But I also saw somebody who went on the exact same vessel and did this whole trip, which also cost $250,000 per person. Just it starts at that. I don't know what do you get like extra air?
Yeah.
Like if you pay
Oh.
more, like what kind of like accoutrements
Yeah.
are they hooking it up with?
Charcuterie
Like
board. It's like
yeah, we'll let you take a selfie while we're down there
yeah,
for
it's,
for $500 more.
yeah. We'll let you drive use the Xbox
Yeah,
controller.
use that. I'll let you touch the Xbox
Yeah, I'll let you
controller, and
touch it.
he like locks it so it's not actually working,
Yeah,
even
it's
though it
like that.
probably doesn't work
He
anyways.
gives you like the broken one, and he's over there like mashing on his like no,
What if it didn't
terrible
even? What
idea.
if it does the controller?
Terrible.
What if it's just a prop that they have, and he just thought that this would make it look more official,
No, it's
and
just so.
and
Oh,
everybody clowns him because it's a fucking game
dude,
controller.
it's
But
just so
it doesn't
frustrating.
even it has no purpose.
So frustrating. Like whenever he's giving that tour and explaining it, I was like, yeah, that's a cool idea if like you want to go out by yourself and if you get lost, like that's like on you. But now there's a bunch of other people. There was like another guy who said he went on that and they got lost. They got knocked off course. And they popped up somewhere where they weren't supposed to. Because yeah, you can't open it from the inside. What is that? Why would you do that? Why would you?
Because he wants you to see how committed you are, and we'll think about like when you're
That is
down there and
insane.
so let's say that they're at the bottom of the ocean right now, no power, and you lose the ability to see anything like far above where they are, so they're like below that shit. It's like they're like 500 1,000 feet below, like where, or maybe more than like where you can't see anything, and it's freezing. So let's say you're down there and somebody's like just panics and tries to open the door and then you all die. So maybe he's like, we can't you I can't trust you, I can't trust myself, so we're locking it and we can only open it from the outside.
How did those people? Yeah, and then they just lose them in the fray. Like they go down, and then they had to gotten stuck or knocked off course. They had to lost their antenna, their communications antenna.
Well, it
Ha-
sounds like these weights are really janky because they said the way that they would get them off if they needed to was to lean left and right in the boat or whatever it is, and that's how it would knock the weights loose. That's how like janky this thing is.
How do they get the weights back, or did they just buy more shitty ones? Yeah, I guess you just buy more
They're
shitty
no,
weights.
yeah, they don't cost anything. Like compared to how much they're charging, it's like literally like a metal pole that like any construction, and then it's like just like three of them like cut the same like length, and then on either side, it probably costs them like $100,
Crazy. That's the worst idea ever,
and then
dude.
you just shake it to the left
That's
and
like a
right.
nightmare because I've always said going deep sea fishing, but on one of those like janky ass boats where it's like $50 per person. If you get lost on one of those deep sea fishing expeditions, I'm not like surprised at all. These old janky ass boats and these huge waves, and you're out there. These guys have nobody even knows they're fucking out there. Absolutely not. That's the same. This is like the going deep to go see the Titanic. That's like this is some only a crazy ass rich white guy would come up with something like that. It's
Oh,
my
for sure.
it's my
Oh, for
passion.
sure.
It's my passion to make a metal tube that only opens from the outside that I
Yeah, like
control with
like
an
black
Xbox
black people
controller.
are risk adverse.
Oh no,
And
yeah, we're not doing that. We like get out of here. So
yeah.
we would call the cops on that guy. We've been calling black people have been calling the cops on this guy since he started talking about having the idea. They're like, I don't know, officer.
And the cops never respond because
Yeah,
it's black people calling
no,
on a white guy.
well, they would return the call and they'd be like, "This person sounds black on the phone," and then they would just like be like, "Nah, never mind, just toss it."
Yeah, plus that guy don't bought the
Yeah,
police
no,
station.
he went up there and there was a fundraiser and he passed out free tickets, so everybody gets to ride his little gets to ride inside his metal tube for free one time. Just let it slide, guys. Don't worry, I'll take you down. They're like, really, really, you'll let us go? Oh hell yeah!
I don't
I'll even
know.
let you touch the controller.
So before I knew who was in the boat, like I can't subversive, um,
Submersible.
submersible. Um, I was thinking like if there were like chicks in there, do you like hook up
No,
like because you know you're gonna die.
that's
Do
gonna be
you
more
do you
oxygen.
do you, yeah, oh yeah, then I thought about that. Now you're wasting breath, and it's like, well, what about like a hand job and like a hand job, simultaneous
No,
hand things going on.
probably not.
But then I was like wondering, like, what if somebody got like fucking like criminal or like aggressive or something, and then they got found, and then they get out of the boat, and then it's like, dude, this motherfucker when we were down there was doing this, and like it's like, oh my god, damn. And, like, can you imagine already being trapped in that situation, and
It's
then
like
somebody's
some
like,
Lord of the Flies shit.
ugh, in like a trapped tube at the bottom of the ocean.
Dude,
That's like getting buried alive.
yeah, essentially buried alive in the dark ocean.
Yeah, that's where we buried Bin Laden, bitch.
And then if there was like Jesus Christ, and then if there was like that'd be spooky to be that deep in the ocean. Like I don't fuck with the ocean like that, so that would be terrifying. 12,000 feet deep. If there anything went by like a camera, I'd be like, what the fuck was that? And I would
Yeah,
not be fucking
'cause-
with that.
that's like giant squid territory.
I think it was a
It's
crazy.
like a different planet. It's like you're in space at that point.
There's this. I don't know. It's just crazy rich dudes, crazy rich white guys do stuff like they find the Titanic. I'm gonna go out and find this boat in the bottom of the ocean. It's like, get out of here. How's this guy paying for this? It's like,
I
oh,
guess
his
the
parents
guy,
are oil barons or some
well,
goofy shit.
of course, no, the guy who did the Titanic, who went down with the ship, I think he was the richest man in America at the time. I think I heard that earlier today.
Well, there's a whole. Well, we'll get into that for therapy questions, but that's one of my. There's a Titanic thing. That's an interesting theory, but
All right.
no, that's just. But that's like a whole demographic of people. So going down in one of these things, creating this submarine thing, going out and finding the Titanic in the first place. There's just a pattern. There's a specific type of person who like wants to go. I'm gonna go to Antarctica and climb this rock, and you're like, why? And it's like because they have shit else to do. Like they're loaded.
Dude, I saw some TikTok shit where it was saying that at Antarctica there was like people live there and there's like statues and pyramids and shit, and that's why the government banned people from going there. Like
Well, yeah,
for a
that's
long
a
time.
whole. Well, that's well, we'll get into that. That's
We will. Is that on the agenda?
Well, yeah. What's on the therapy questions? Yeah,
Ah, I forgot
yeah,
what we were
yeah.
like,
But
referring to.
this in my what
Okay,
I'm
all right,
saying
well,
isn't a
let's set it
theory.
up.
Isn't a theory. There's crazy rich old dudes that are running around and like making death traps and weird carnival rides and looking for treasure in the fucking jungle, and they're dangerous. That's all I'm saying. And they're gonna hurt themselves or other people. Anybody who wants to come up with a submarine, or not even a submersible, that locks from the outside, that's controlled by a fucking Atari joystick, and all it only
First it
runs
was
on
Xbox,
fan.
then it was Nintendo, now it's
Oh yeah,
Atari.
you gotta change, and then it was Dreamcast. You gotta change it every time, and it only runs on three like shitty ass Acer flat screen monitors. Like, get out of here! Like, why are they letting this guy do this in the first place? You gotta stop this man from himself. I hope they're found okay, and I hope everything's all right. But that is just, I can't imagine.
Well, I think he
signing
stopped.
up.
He stopped, bro.
I don't
This
think
is what happens when you do this. You end up dying.
it's.
Like the person who invented the squirrel suit is dead. The person who invented the Segway died on a Segway off of a cliff. So the guy who invents these boats to go down to the Titanic, he's gonna die in one.
Is going down in a submersible, is that an extreme sport? Would you consider that extreme?
Yeah.
See, I would say
I don't know about sport. I just like an extreme activity.
yeah, because like if you're like a free diver or something like
If you
that,
can die from it, I think yeah, it's extreme.
yeah,
I mean, you could get hit in the head with a baseball and die in a football field,
Or-
but football's kind of extreme. It's like the OG extreme sport.
yeah, or your GameCube controller could die and you could fucking get stuck on a piece of coral.
But even
And
with that, the weights, the weights, bro.
But what if you're still stuck on something? You might be stuck on something. Who knows?
Or they just can't find it because the size of the surface area that they're searching is the size of Connecticut. I like how they say shit like that. Like I know how that like
How
what
big
that
can it?
size is.
Yeah.
Like because all the time I'll see like the map and I'll be like, I didn't realize. Like the other day, I was, I think I was watching the NBA and they showed Massachusetts on the map, and I was like, Massachusetts is like north of Philly and New York, and like I thought it was always below
You're like,
because
oh wow, it's like, oh, I totally forgot that. I got a
yeah,
hundred. I got a
like
hundred on that test.
When I see Europe all the time, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot like
Like, oh,
how close
Portugal.
to
You're like, wait, I thought Spain was the end of Europe, but
no,
Portugal's just
no.
right on the tip, huh?
And Germany's like a country away, like from Ukraine. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's wild. It's wild, y'all. You know, we have all of those countries we just mentioned besides Ukraine listening to the podcast. We had Portugal, we got Germany. Germany's up there, top of the global podcast network.
nice.
Uh, Besides America, you know, shout out. We'll always be number one, baby. USA, USA. All right, therapy questions. Therapy question number one, Joseph. What's your favorite conspiracy theory, and why does it make you question everything that you know?
See, but that ending is kind of loaded. I mean, number one, I have a ton of favorite conspiracy theories, so I could talk about this for
Okay,
forever.
but you need to pick one that you're gonna
If I
talk about it.
had to pick one, it'd either be the whole like reptilian shape shifting interdimensional beings thing, or the other one would be like Hollow Earth, and there's like a whole nother civilization of people that live inside the Earth, like Journey to the Center of the Earth. That
Yeah,
one's
it's called the
cool,
ocean.
and that's like some Antarctica stuff because some people say that there's entrances into those. That if you there's like holes and caves that you could go into the Earth, and there would be like civilizations living in these massive caverns that exist throughout all of the planet. So this
Dumb,
that's
dumb.
well, that's some like old. Well, I mean, there's also some like white.
Journey to the center of the earth.
Well, if you
Dumb.
the whole lost Atlantis inner Earth theory, it starts to get kind of racist because then at some point it's all about like Aryans and like giants and all these people that live on the inside of the Earth. Dinosaurs would still live in there. Some people like there's a whole theory that there's a second sun in, so the Earth's core is actually a sun, and there's like we have two. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, there's some wild shit. But and then the H.P. Lovecraft has a that's serious, and H.P. Lovecraft has a whole book
I
or short story at the Mountains of Madness, which is all about them going on an expedition to Antarctica and finding some lost civilization that's like empty, but it's all pyramids and stuff that don't make sense, and like monsters and all sorts of cool shit. It's pretty good short story.
so I like have had some extra time on my hands lately, so I dabble in TikTok, like watching it, and
TikTok
and
conspiracy
I
theories.
yeah, but it didn't start off like that. And like when people are saying like that the Chinese like, you know, it's like they could be taking Americans' data by owning, you know, ByteDance, which owns TikTok. But I've also heard like where they could be putting their thumb on the scale and like just like subtly like making like kids like question like American values like, and I'm experiencing that real hard by TikTok. Like it came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, it's just like all these conspiracy theories, and it's like talking shit about the United States, and it's like almost everyone, and it's like gets you starting to question like the government, and that's like, of course, that's what China wants. Like it's kind of obvious. So, at what point is it just all Chinese American conspiracy theories?
Yeah, but I think that there's a lot of American
Okay,
history
because I
that's
saw
based in
Atlantis.
yeah, well, yeah,
I,
they always talk about the lost city
Yeah,
of
like
Atlanta.
a diver went down there and it was showing me Atlantis, and he was like saying, he's like, don't ever touch anything down here, it's bad luck. And then there was like people who are dead down there, and he's like, damn, man, I wonder how many things you touched. And then he goes to a swing set, I think, which I don't know why that would be in Atlantis.
Oh, it makes no
Uh,
sense.
yeah, I just thought about that right now. But he goes like above it, and then he like does push-ups, and he's like, "Don't worry, that won't hurt me." And then like
What?
he's like a braggadocious diver.
What is this? No, but like so
Okay, but then
because
but
who
go
was it?
ahead,
Was
you
it
go ahead.
Plato? Was it Plato
Oh, what's up with Plato?
who wrote about traveling to the city of Atlantis or seeing it? And then Alexander the Great also spoke about it's just like a city that was probably lost, like a coastal city that was is washed away. It's possible,
What do you
but
think it is?
um,
Does like is there like a main location that everybody thinks it is, or is it like just like up for grabs?
I mean, it's kind of up for grabs. Some people think it's somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea or just outside the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, in that
See,
area
I was
of the
always
Atlantic
thought about
Ocean.
I always thought it would be like in the Caribbean because like all of like those hotels, like resorts that are like sandals,
Yeah,
and they make it seem like that's like the the city of Atlantis. I
yeah.
think.
No, they're but no. So I mean, like supposedly that existed during a period of time. It no longer exists. Now in Antarctica, there was a bunch of people that did some expeditions down there in like the early 1900s, like Admiral Byrd. He went and did this operation. I think it was Operation High Jump, where they went down and like did some excursions and explored on Antarctica. Came back. There was a couple other people who like kind of perused around, and then the world signed a treaty that nobody would like do anything down there. The Nazis were building a
Yeah,
base or had
yeah.
some sort of base in Antarctica as well, and that's where the theories, because the Nazis were crazy and they were into lots of different other things, not just the horrible things they were into, but they believed like mystic shit. They were always looking for stuff or something that they could get themselves
Well,
into.
that was all the meth they were doing.
And then so there was like stuff to see if there was anything down there. You could some people think that there's tons of resources. Yeah, mountains, pyramids, lost
Yeah,
cities,
yeah.
structures that would exist there that would predate human history as far as we know it on a timeline. So for people to go partake and look at that stuff also makes it to where if we knew it was there, would we question more of our history?
Well, let's get into that because the government has been like actively showing us UFOs like all the time. Like they're like, here's like a bunch of shit we know, and we're having hearings on it like once a month now. To and they won't rule out extraterrestrial life has been here. So basically, they're letting us know that aliens exist, which I mean I already knew aliens existed, but I question whether or not they visited Earth or not. But it makes sense that they have. Like nobody's denying it anymore like they used to. Are you surprised that nobody's freaking out? Freaking out, man.
Well, and before I touch on that, the other thing, because there's maps that predate like the exploration of like known explorers on a timeline, knowing that Antarctica was there or would be able to draw a topographic map of it and chart it out like pretty accurately. You can look some of that shit up. It's pretty wild. Like old ass fucking maps that got like outlines of like South America and North America, like full global maps
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that include the coastal line almost to a T of Antarctica. That shit's like
Right.
real.
That's all that too. Yeah.
So that's those are the things that make that people jump on, and then they're like, oh fuck, but that is extremely weird. And that's where
Well, then
losing.
you would think that then they would have done something about global warming sooner instead of having like Antarctica melt and then now people are gonna roll up there and see what's up now that it's more accessible.
Yeah, what if everybody just goes to Antarctica and then it's like Jurassic Park, bro? We get there and it's just all sorts of wild shit.
I mean, Antarctica, if we don't get climate change under control, is gonna be eventually the last spot to chill. Right? It'll be the last one to melt. Except for it's on the pole, so I think it melt faster. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but melt
I'm
and
not
then
a
raise the sea
fucking
levels.
scientist,
Yeah, you're not. That'd be scary.
but I play one on Spotify.
Okay, there you go. No, yeah, I mean, I think it's mathematically impossible that aliens wouldn't exist. Just like how
Right, we've
vast the
established that.
how vast the universe is. Like the cool, like the trippy things about pictures of space to me is whenever they're like outside our solar system, and you see pictures of like the Milky Way and a shit ton of other just galaxies that are out there, to put into scale, like because how small we are on the scale of our own galaxy and our existence on like a spiral arm out of a bunch of spiral arms that are surrounding some massive black hole. It's fucking crazy. So when those pictures
That's
that
kind of
are,
like what I was saying, like with the maps. So I'm like always like surprised. It's like when you see like stuff like that of like the galaxies, it's always like, even though you can like think about it conceptually, like, we're like this tiny spot like in the universe, like when you see it like put into like scale, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and then it's like, and then that picture that you're seeing of those galaxies is like a snapshot of a small segment of like a massive infinite amount of those. So
Yeah.
it's just like beyond fathomable. So with that being said, it's almost impossible that other life doesn't exist that's intelligent. And then the farther what out into the universe you would go, the older it would be, because it'd be farther away from wherever the center of the universe is, or wherever like this Big Bang would happen or whatever. So if that's if
The
you
Big Bang happened in LA.
so if that's what you think, then like the farther back you go from where we are, then it's just like there's so much older shit that if the older, even on our own timeline, at some point, if we were to survive and be alive and control this planet for like 10,000 years or something like that, that would be wild. If we
And
break,
it's expanding. So it's like we're all moving, like all these galaxies are moving at like thousands and thousands and thousands of miles like per second. And it's like, so it's just like expanding out and out and out and out and out and out. So eventually, when you're on Earth, if humans are still around, you won't ever be able to see stars, because not only is it expanding, but everything's moving away from everything. It's like the opposite of gravitational pull, because it was the Big Bang, so everything just like shot out from each other, and it's still doing that. So eventually, the stars will be so far away, any closest star, that you won't be able to see it from here. That's a sad day,
yeah, that's wild.
but also a good day that humans made it that long for that to happen.
Yeah, and
Got to show gratitude.
I mean, aliens have obviously been here before, in some way, shape, or form, or they've like
I know, but do you
cruised
think they've
by.
talked? Do you think they're conspiring with the governments of the world? Because that'd be some fucked up
Well,
shit.
that's it. Because there's some people that think
I'd be pissed off that I wasn't.
the reptilian shapeshifters aren't from this planet, and there's like evil aliens and good aliens, and that we need to listen to good aliens and tell bad aliens to go away, which are
Well,
like
of course,
grays
there's good and
and
bad, because it's humans
reptile.
making that shit up.
There's like reptilian style aliens, all sorts
What's
of
good? What's
shit.
bad, man? What's normal? It's the setting on the dishwasher. Fuck the, like, what bad aliens? Like, what does it makes them bad?
I
Because
don't
they
know.
want to like kill us.
They want to, I don't know, kill us, fuck us.
Like we kill cows. Does that make us bad?
To cows, yeah, they're like, dude, fuck these people.
Dude, I heard AI is gonna think of us like dogs or cats, where they keep us around because we're amusing, but like that they're running the show.
That sounds terrible.
I know.
That
Just to
sounds.
like, I know it's late where you are, so like, right, just give you some shit to think about right before you go to sleep.
I appreciate
So
you.
that
No,
AI takes over the world and keeps us around like dogs.
that's like
It
Skynet,
feeds us.
like Skynet, dude.
Dude,
Here is your food.
everything like that comes out like was predicted by film, like in or art, like the fucking it like. Speaking of James Bond, he'd always be talking to his fucking watch like a psycho,
Like the
you know.
Jetsons, he was always on
Yeah, the
FaceTime.
Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah, the FaceTime, like the iWatch, and then just the Simpsons predicting everything.
Think about this: Inspector Gadget, Penny, and her book, the little laptop book computer thing that she
Yeah,
has. That's totally, and that had FaceTime.
I actually read it like a good article about this a long time ago, and it was like it was not necessarily just a coincidence, because it was like those people were like the mainstream artists of our time, fucking the Jetsons was huge and shit like that, and James Bond is huge. And so it's like these kids grow up watching that, and then when they become like super smart scientists, that's what they try to create.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, so you could think that aliens are giving us technology.
I
It's just
don't
that
think
some people
that.
would.
Well, maybe. I don't know what to think. All I know is that they're actually communicating with like the government. That's fucked up because the government is for the people, by the people, of the people. So I want to be talking to aliens and not
Yeah,
like
but I
it.
could
And
see
not, like
why it did.
Trump is like worth the conversation, but I'm
Well,
like, get
no,
the
I don't.
fuck
I
out of
don't
my
think.
face.
I don't think they were letting Trump talk to the aliens. But
No,
what
so that was 4 years. The aliens were just we're out.
they're like, hey, we're gonna go come back. We're on vacay, guys. But in
And that's why Putin got so frisky because he was not
four
the
years,
aliens weren't around.
4 years for us, and we'll come out. We'll park out. We'll hang out next door. We'll hang out at the moon. See who wins the election, and then we'll go from there. But we're out for it's like
Yeah,
two, it's like
we're
2 weeks
We're
for
done
us.
negotiating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 years is like 2 weeks for us, so we'll be back in like 2 weeks, guys.
a fortnight.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. All right, I mean, don't tell anybody we exist. Don't tell that asshole. No.
So I saw another conspiracy thing on like related to this, but it was the Pyramid of Giza, and it was like all the measurements of it and stuff were crazy, and like each brick is like 3,000 tons.
Well, yeah, that's the
I
whole
mean,
idea of
2 tons or 3 tons.
how would they move that, because it still wouldn't be possible for like a large group of slaves to move all of this stuff and cut it from where it's
Through
cut.
like the desert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they know it came from. Even if they ported it, they always think that maybe there's some like
It perfectly aligned it.
some sound levitation device. There's all these different theories about ways they could have potentially moved this.
Okay, so on the same video where this guy's just like I think it was like 10 facts that you can't dispute about the pyramid. So he was like trying to be like, I'm not going to hit you with like like full conspiracy theory, but I'll just tell you 10 facts that you can't rebuttal. And one of them was that he's like, they said they keep making these pyramids for people's like, for pharaohs like to die in. He's like, we've never found one body in a single pyramid ever, not one. I was like, what? And like, apparently that's true.
Yeah.
And like, so that was like the type of thing. It was like, think about this. And then another one was that Giza's location is like perfectly like from the point of the pyramid going around the earth from either side of the point would cover the most like landmass ever, making it the center of the planet. Like from any other point, like going out would cover less area than the point of Giza. And then also like it related to like how high it was like exact replica for like the massive or how big it was an exact scale to the massive Earth. I don't know, bro.
So are you saying that aliens built the pyramids?
I'm saying that they might have been involved. Yeah, they probably built them. Yeah, because of the weight of all that shit. And come on, man. And it wasn't even that long ago.
Well, and then there's supposedly or close to the same point, and they line up um, are three pyramids that are maybe potential pyramids that exist on Mars. Um, that they like line up and they're similar.
I mean,
And they
if a
have the
pyramid
different
exists on Antarctica, I think we're there. We're there at this point. Like where it's like you could tell me anything at that point, like pyramids on
Well, and
Mars,
that's why
pyramid on the moon.
well, that's why if they're talking to aliens, I mean, I think that would throw a
Some
lot.
bullshit. Like who chose?
That would
Who
throw a
chose?
lot of people's worlds for a tilt. They'd freak the fuck
I
out.
don't. I don't know. I think
Yes.
the information that we already have, I thought would do that.
Because then there'd be like crazy Christians in the street trying to kill aliens because they think they'd be Lucifer. And then there'd be other ones who would think they were angels. It'd be chaos, dude. People would lose their fucking minds.
It's like it is already. It's all chaos
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, but it would reach a whole nother scale. Like that's like
Doubtful.
I think the
I
pot.
think you're giving it too much credit, bro.
No, I think everybody. I think people are.
I think that they've let us slowly in on it, so it's like baked in already. People are.
Well, yeah, they got to slowly let us know. You tell everybody there's
know.
aliens in like
We've been
88
subliminally.
84, everybody's
Yeah.
coked out in a members only jacket wearing neon and they're screaming in the streets.
Whoa, bro, aliens. That's how I think like somebody would sound coked out in
But
the 80s.
think I'm gonna put my money in this thing called the internet, dude.
Or should we get a bag?
Don't you want me? You know I don't believe it when you say that you are leaving. Don't. Hey, what's up? Don't you want me?
You're telling me that I had to stop copyright.
Oh, but no, another one is there's I mean, I don't know. That song's old as fuck. It's got to be public domain at this point.
No, it's not that old.
I know.
It's like 75 years. It's public domain.
I'm just trying. There's a theory that there's two ships, the Titanic and the Britannic, and there's a theory that they believe that the ship was sunk intentionally in an insurance fraud scheme, and it actually wasn't the Titanic. That they swapped the Britannic and the Titanic's plates, and then they sunk what was the Britannic for an insurance payout. That's a whole theory.
And then they accidentally killed all those people. They thought
No,
they
like
could
they
get them
just
off, or-
no. Oh yeah, I mean, I think they thought they could get most of them off and get the money for the boat, and then it like went super awry. So there is a conspiracy theory which does have some supporting facts that exists
It's
around.
the richest guy in America doing it. Like, so
Yeah, but so he wanted.
he needs an insurance scheme.
Yeah, but he had like two boats. I think it got damaged, and had something to do with it already being damaged. It was structurally flawed.
Maybe he wasn't the richest guy. He's like Trump, who just says he's the richest guy, but he's really like underwater, and so he has to get.
And then it was like the fog.
You get rid
made
of
it-
one, get the insurance
No,
for that,
like
and that
the
can
way
cover
it's
the other.
sunk, the way it's sunk, and the issues with the fog. That there was a ship that was able to save a lot of people that was nearby because they were already aware of the fact that there was going to be some sort of sinking of this boat, so they wanted to rescue people, and that's why. But then there was a lot of fog, and it was like rolled over and was kind of just shitty, and visibility was low, so that's why I had a hard time finding where the ship had sunk. Also because it had snapped in half. It wasn't like sideways, it was like and completely collapsed. So they were looking for a lot of people in like a really high rolling fog, but they were all like, in the water or laying on top of something that was big
Not
enough
the
for
band.
big enough
Not
for
the band.
big enough for two people, but only one girl took it. So I mean,
Band still played, bro.
so that is a whole theory. I'd suggest you look into that. It's very interesting because there is some things that make it to where it's like, oh, is that possible? It'll make you think about it differently.
Okay.
Because you got to think, those guys, to be that rich back in the day like that, the shit that you could get away with before there was like fucking laws to say you couldn't do that or you can't do that.
Before there were laws.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, basically, when it's like, sir, you can't walk up there and like beat up that old woman and just take her farm because you want to put in a strip mall. But like, if it was fucking 1814, you could walk around and just be bitch slapping people and taking their shit. People were wild. That's crazy.
The
That's like,
Wild West.
I mean, even in
Jim
like,
West, Desperado.
it's almost like some gangs in New York shit. That stuff's wild. Even like there was a period of time in America where there was laws, but it was still pretty fucking lawless. That's where they're like, oh, the cops are looking for you. Fuck that. Oh, the Pinkertons are looking for you. They're like a private.
Right, like women and black people couldn't vote. Like, what are we saying?
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're lawless. Jim West, Desperado.
Lawless, everybody. Lawless. Darkness, everybody. Okay. Therapy question number 2. If you, speaking of, I didn't even think about this. If you could invent a ridiculous law, what would it be, and who would be the first person you'd use it against?
Oh man.
I'll start. Diet Coke, illegal. And then I wouldn't have to use it against anybody because it's a free and fair country. So, but anybody partaking in drinking Diet Coke, Donald Trump, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
If I can implement
Which
any
it's
law,
a felony.
invent any ridiculous law, what would it be, and who would the first person you'd use it against? Damn.
I know. I don't really like that because, justice is blind.
I don't know. I haven't. Term limits for Supreme Court justices.
Boom. That's not ridiculous, though.
It sounds ridiculous because it's not in the rules right now. Right now, that would
The
be.
rules right now are ridiculous.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Maybe no more. No more just like letting your kids just like run the fuck around in public spaces, just like out of control. And I just
Okay, but
implemented on the
think
first
about when
person.
you were a kid, though.
Bruh, my mom would whip my
Did you
ass.
want to? But you wanted to run around.
Yeah, but my mom was like, nah, bruh, chill the fuck out. We're hanging out this Red Robin, show a little class. Now, it's like, you know, kids breaking windows, doing all sorts of shit.
I was
A
just next to a
ridiculous,
I was next to a Cracker Barrel earlier
ooh,
today. It
another one.
was
I would
loaded.
have, you have to be, limit the Second Amendment. Actually, I went on this work thing. It was
Get rid of the Second Amendment.
No, I went on this work event, man, last week, and
Abolish the Second Amendment.
it was fucking awesome because we went skeet shooting. So we went out. Everybody in my company that I work with, it was a lot of fun. But we went out in golf carts of 4, and we went out and went and shot skeet like all afternoon, like you know the whole
Skeet,
dude.
skeet.
And I dominated. I was out there wrecking it like nobody's fucking business.
Oh, skeet, God.
I think the next I hit about half of all my targets, so something like 24 out of 48 or something like that. But like sitting there with the
That's
12
weak.
gauge.
That's weak.
No, dude, that's actually.
Yeah. I
Really-
thought you would like. I thought you'd become more correct for the pod. Now you're
Some
out
of
here
these
letting
shots-
everybody know that you're only a 50% shooter. You're gonna
You
get
go out
robbed
there
on
and
the
dude,
street.
some
You're
of
gonna
those
get
shots
robbed.
are some of those shots are pretty fucking difficult, man.
But if I know I can shoot 90%, you can only shoot 50.
I hit targets at every
I'll take
single.
that gamble.
I hit targets at every single station except for one, which is
You
like
should start walking around like 50 with body armor.
there's a kid that I work with who hit 43 out of 48 and was out there like killing it. But he showed up and he had his own headgear, like his own like earplugs, but they were like really fancy and like folded up. It was like he was just out there wrecking it. And then him and my owner who set up the event, super great guy, challenged him. It was a one-on-one shoot off. Best 5 shots apiece. Best winner wins $1,000, and he beat my owner, dude. My owner had to pay him out $1,000. It was the wildest shit I've ever seen, dude. But these are like
course he
crazy
did.
shots. Yeah, no, but they're both
That's how
like
you
really.
get hustled at the skeet. You get hustled by the skeet.
I was out there, bro. I was like John Wick,
Dude, you need to get out there more, apparently.
like Thug Wick.
Yeah, right. 50%.
It's all.
You could even get to 30.
It's pretty difficult, man.
Therapy question number 3, Joseph. If you were a cereal, like cereal, milk and cereal mascot, what catchphrase would you use to sell yourself?
If I was a cereal mascot,
That's right. You want me to go?
yeah, some. Oh, well, yeah.
So I decided I'll choose the cereal that I've been eating lately, which is Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows.
Okay.
So I'll be like, come and eat Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows. We're fluffy and fruity. Or we're fluffy and fruity. Fruity Pebbles and marshmallows.
It'd be like something like Apple Jacks, but it'd have to just be something absurd where people would be trying to get my Apple Jacks. You know, they always like try to hide them and be like, "Oh, get away from my Apple Jacks!" From those.
Oh, you're
old...
trying to jack the Apple Jack?
Yeah, but it'd be like, "Back the fuck up off my Apple Jacks." It'd be some like serious shit. It'd be somebody. So you try to get it and you just like.
It'd be the
serious.
dad from Friday.
Yeah, like or like Debo or something like that.
Well, he's
my-
the dad from Friday is always protective about his food in the kitchen.
Yeah, put some hot sauce on my.
Yeah, some
John
pig feet
Witherspoon.
flavored
Yeah,
Apple Jacks.
John Witherspoon. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Nobody go in there for 35, 45 minutes and someone open a window.
Man,
I like pig feet.
his old stand up and like his old roast, man, he was really funny. He's a good shit talker, man. You should go watch some old John Witherspoon. He's
I
wearing
love a good ball buster. I love a good ball buster.
some like silk suit with this fro, just out there crushing it, but he looks the exact same. It's fucking hilarious.
Nice. All right, so I'm fruity. What are you? Applejacker.
Yep, the apple jacker. Jacking apples.
Jax. iOS. See what I did there?
I'll be raisin bran and be
It was an
like,
apple
2
player.
scoops. Let's go.
Put your 2 scoops in the air.
Yeah. Hey, 2 scoops.
2 shoes. Haha. Yeah. Goody.
2 girls, 2 scoops, riding around in 2 coops. Hey.
I got 2 girls trying to double team me like I was Kobe, so I whip out my lightsaber like I was Obi. Now they both screaming like they Chewbacca.
Jesus, I don't know about that. That's terrible.
Kind of weird.
Yeah,
They
that's
drunk
weird.
on the vodka.
No, that's awful.
Tight their pussies off. Yep,
Jesus,
I'm Yoda.
no,
Yep,
stop.
I'm Yoda.
Stop.
Get your titties over here so I can motorboat you.
Stop it. Next question, Jesus. No, terrible. Not good.
Dude, were they built for speed or were they built for comfort? You know what I'm saying?
They're stupid.
Motorboating something.
Dude, if you want to get into other conspiracy theories, get into some boat racing conspiracy theories. I like drug runners.
All right. Final therapy question, y'all. Therapy question number 4. If you had to choose between having a pet dinosaur or a robot butler, which one would you pick and why?
Does the robot butler come with me? Like I go on an adventure and he comes?
He's your butler, bro. He's like your Joffrey from Fresh Prince.
Yeah, I would take but he's a robot. I take the robot butler for sure.
Over the pet dinosaur. I agree with that.
Pet
Well,
dinosaur.
no, I don't agree with that because I don't like robots.
Yeah,
I'm
me
George
neither.
Washington.
But like, pet dinosaur would be like it'd shit a lot. Well, it'd be cool. It'd have to be like cool with other people. You'd have to put it up. There'd just be a whole thing. But if you had a robot butler,
Could you sell it?
robot butler could drive you around. Your robot butler could go run errands for you, get your shit done, do your laundry. He could also
Murder you.
go on hike. No, because he's just your robot butler.
But your pet dinosaur could murder you.
Oh, your pet dinosaur is more likely to murder you than your robot butler, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like, I cannot get the maid from the Jetsons out of my head when we
Rosie.
when you see Rosie, you keep saying robot butler, and I'm just like a robot would say.
Yeah, because
And I'm
Rosie
thinking of
like
Rosie.
Rosie passes out toast and shit. Like Rosie's tight.
She passes out drunk.
Yeah, that's true. That too. All wobbly and shit on her wheels. But I mean, if you got a pet dinosaur, what you would want that you'd think is cool, you'd be like, oh, I want a raptor or something. You know, oh, I want T-Rex.
I want a.
You'd want a herbivore.
I want a Charizard.
No, you'd want like Jesus, that'd be tight. But you'd want a herbivore.
What's the baby Charizard?
Oh, baby Charizard. There's a Charmeleon, which is the middle one, and then there's Charmander.
Charizard is the smallest one then. It's the original. It's like with Squirtle.
No, Charizard's the big one.
What's the small one?
I think it's Charmander, then Charmeleon.
Oh, Charmander.
Then Charizard.
Is Squirtle's homie?
Yeah.
I was always a Squirtle guy. That's
I
why I
believe
kept
so.
referring to him. And the Bulbasaurus.
Yeah, Bulbasaur. Pikachu.
All up in your shit. Hey, I like turtles. Okay, we're both picking the butler on that one.
Yeah, but if you had to do a dinosaur, it'd have to be a veggie. It'd have to be a plant eater because you wouldn't want something. If you want something cool, but that would kill,
or a cake eater.
That would kill you. So I guess I could do like my favorite, like the Ankylosaurus. You could ride that bitch. That'd be tight. It'd be like a big tank. But it would eat a lot and it would shit a lot. It would be like very expensive.
Right. That's why you sell it.
Sell the dinosaur shit.
Or you know
could.
Like
that'd
we
be
talked
a great
about
fertilizer.
They sell the dinosaur. That would be great. But like we talked about last episode, what rich people do and jerk off horses.
It's true, in cups.
Well, I guess you would need 2 dinosaurs.
See, that's another thing that billionaires do. They like jerk off horses. They build
That's what I'm saying.
metal
So you,
tubes.
what if you jerked off your Ankylosaurus and then sold the sperm for like millions?
Then I'd start a fucking
Oh boy.
metal tube company, and I'd
So you
control it
still
all
have
with
him as your pet. It's
I
a loophole.
control it with a Wii controller, and I'd take people down to the bottom of the ocean,
Oh, yeah.
like
What if you could
like
get like
like
a dinosaur?
like Doctor fucking Doom, dude. That's some
No,
Doctor
because
Doom shit.
no, yeah, you have to go in a capsule. You can't go on a dinosaur because
Mm-mm.
the pressure would just kill you.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you could sell your dinosaur.
Like sperm whales can't even go to the Titanic because there's so much pressure.
You could sell the dinosaur jizz down to get down to the bottom of the ocean. That's at
But
least
but we have, remember we have a time crunch here.
like doesn't anybody under like that submersible idea is such a bad idea that there's a lot.
What if somebody died already, but then the rest of them are alive and there's a dead body in there and they're just waiting to be saved?
That's terrible.
I know.
Like that's not good.
Think about how many bad things
I
could be
just
going on
wonder.
right now.
No,
Other
well,
than they're stuck.
I just think that I mean at some point everybody would get frustrated with him. You would think if it was
Well,
something like
what if somebody committed suicide? Like, you know,
well, that's
because
terrible.
they
No,
can't
I hope
handle
they're.
it.
Well, I just hope they're all okay. I wouldn't put that in. I'm not putting that in.
Oh
the
yeah,
universe.
I'm sorry.
But
Well,
yeah, like Jesus.
dark alert.
Yeah,
Dark alert.
I'm just saying. Like that's just. It just seemed that's such a big risk doing something like that. That like
Totally.
that's why people don't do shit like that. If you get offered to do that, bruh. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
You'd have to convince me to get on like a 12-hour
No, it's
flight
like
to like go to
yeah.
Tokyo or something, let alone drop 12,000 feet. We're a
And
boat
$250,000.
with a boat we're a boat full of people trying to get to America died and drowned. That's like terrible. That's just such a bad idea. Oh, I can't get it out of my head.
All right, but we covered that.
Yeah, I know that was the first topic, but
Yeah.
we just can't knock it into it because it's fucking wild. So we'll get into the next
Now,
one.
yeah, let's because I'm sure all of our
Oh, whoa.
Republican friends out there, you know, it's like I want those Republican people, the MAGA groups, to, I want them to be happy like everybody else, and it just seems like they can't be happy. Like our next topic is Hunter Biden pled guilty
Oh,
today.
he's expected to plead guilty. He hasn't yet, but he's expected to plead guilty because he was charged by the DOJ for two misdemeanor. I think it was income tax fraud issues, and then a
Gun charge.
felony gun charge that
Yeah,
that
so
he's taking on.
I love this because uh so the Republicans are calling it a sweetheart deal that he got off. So the judge or the prosecutor from the DOJ who was on this was a Trump appointed attorney general, and he uh and Biden, so all the attorney generals, usually when a new president comes, they all resign because the new president switches all of them out. However, uh, Biden kept three attorney generals on from Trump era, one of them being this attorney because he didn't want to show any interference of like with his son's investigation. They investigated Hunter for 5 years. That it's laptop, 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 and then they got, and now they're saying they have like on tape Hunter getting caught, or Joe Biden getting caught with money laundering and working with like foreign governments to get money.
Oh, the
And then
$5 million payment or some shit
yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
right. And so they started saying that, but now they're all like kind of backtracking, like we don't actually know if these audio tapes exist. And then so I was watching like some Fox News earlier, and they're like, it was Jesse fucking Waters, whose stupid punchable face, and he was like saying, uh, they, because they asked Hunter Biden's lawyer if they brought up the laptop, Hunter's laptop, and Hunter Biden's lawyer's like, I don't recall them ever bringing it up, and then it goes to Jesse Waters, and he's just like on Fox News, he's like, so this wasn't an investigation because they never even brought up the laptop, and it's like, bro, like just because you said this laptop has all this like criming on it, doesn't make it true. And it wasn't a part of this investigation whatsoever. Not saying that they didn't look at it, and you better hope they didn't look at it. Otherwise, if they did and they didn't see anything, then you guys are just full of shit. But we already know they were full of shit, and it's just like, so he comes off on these tax charges, these two income tax, and he already paid it back, the money that he owed for the taxes. And his lawyer was saying, it was like he was like doing a lot of drugs at the time, and he just didn't do his taxes, and he's paid it back, and he's still getting punished. He's getting probation, and then it's funny that he's getting off on a gun charge when all these Republicans, all they want to do is make it easier and easier for people to have guns. And
Yeah,
then
and
he
he's
gets off on
going
a gun
to.
charge, and they're like, "Oh, it's so easy."
He's agreed to go to some sort of rehab.
Well, no, he can't. The agreement is because the charge is owning a gun while being addicted to an illegal substance. That's a real law. So he just lied and said he wasn't addicted to crack when he bought the gun, and that's what law he broke. Um, you know.
Yeah, 2018 possession of a firearm while a drug user. Jesus. Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely balances the scales. So people who want to see
No, no,
the
I'm looking at
Biden crime family.
but that's what all these Republicans are saying. It's a sweetheart deal. Now they're doubling down on the two-tier justice system, like It's like, okay, well, he pled guilty. If Trump pled guilty, he would probably not see jail time.
It's got to be something. It's always got to be something, dude. You got to just realize it.
It's insane. They just keep moving the goalpost no matter what. But it's just like they're tying each other, like themselves, into knots. Like, the other thing, like I noticed lately, is they're calling it the Biden crime family.
Yeah, I love
He's
that.
got so many bank accounts that he transfers to. It would take 10 years to unravel, is what they said. It's like, okay, well, which one is it? Is Joe Biden a dementia-ridden like moron that's like about to like die and can't function or think anymore, or is he this like best fucking like criminal like of all time, where he has so many bank accounts that even if you tried to find it, it would take 10 years to unravel. He's been dealing with the Chinese and the Ukrainians. It's like, okay, well, yeah, like if he's that smart and cunning, then he's not this like duttering idiot that you guys try to claim he is. So which one? You have to pick one.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing is interesting. I mean, I'm glad that I mean, honestly, if he broke the law and wasn't doing the paying his income tax and shit, and they went investigated him for 5 years, that's what they came up with. I mean, that's not
5 fucking years.
like it sounds like a waste of money to me, especially if he's already paid it back. The
Yeah,
gun
and
charge is just like something that, of course, that's probably going to get washed away. Because also, I mean, if he's
it
taking
all
this,
hold on, like it all started like this, like Trump got impeached like right when he got into office the first time was for blackmailing Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, to get dirt on Biden, and there is no dirt. So he got impeached for doing that, and then they're all complaining like, "Oh, the Biden crime family." Like 5 years later, and it's like the DOJ, Trump appointed attorney general, comes back and he's like, "I got taxed 2 years he missed." And then the other thing Jesse Waters said, it was like, "Well, they're not doing what you're supposed to do. A number one rule is follow the money. So if you didn't pay his income taxes, well, didn't you investigate what income he got?"
I'm sure
That
they
was,
did.
yeah, he's setting it up. It's like, yeah, but he's just talking to himself, so there is no rebuttal. He just puts, it's like him and Tucker Carlson just put these questions out there, but they don't like have an answer. Like, well, what if they did the laptop? They didn't even investigate. That's what he said. It's been gathering dust for 5 years.
Tucker Carlson's like Twitter TV show shit's wild and weird. He's
I
insane.
can't believe he's allowed to do it.
Well, I think I think he got kind of in trouble
I
for
know.
doing
So I
it
thought it
because
would stop.
Yeah, I don't know if he's done one in a while, but I know that he done like two
Well,
or
that was
three.
after his first one.
No, he did like 2 or 3 episodes.
Before he got like the Fox News stepped in.
Yeah, before Fox News was like, "Hey, you're fucked."
I fucking own you, Tucker. Tucker.
He's like,
Like,
I
have you seen
own
the
you,
president?
mate. I own you, mate. Sorry
I
about
own you,
that.
mate.
I know you want to do your show, and I know you want to go out there and you want to have your fun, but fortunately, there, bub, I own you. You're mine. Everything that comes out your pretty little mouth, Tucker, belongs to me. Don't you forget that. And my little shitty kids too. They were on the show. You little bitch. I'm not gonna say the C word on air, but that's because they say that in Australia all the time.
Remember they call him fucker, not Tucker.
Yeah, I remember I hired you 13 years ago, you little fucker. Now I own you now. You want to go to Twitter, huh? You want to go with that South African? That diamond hoarding child laborer? Yeah, fuck that. No, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, but obviously he'd get in trouble because,
Right, because they have a contract until the end of 2025 with Tucker. Fox Corp does, and it's like $20 million, which I thought he would was getting paid more for some reason.
I think he's probably gotten paid a bunch up front.
Yeah, maybe. And it's just 25 to keep going.
Yeah, like to pay out the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, he's made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like in like the NBA.
Yeah, but that was that
area,
perfect
like 50 million a year. Or
the
something.
perfect phone call. That's the Zelensky phone call that he talks
Yeah, the perfect phone call. That's
perfect call.
Zelensky, who turns out to be fucking a hardcore Winston Churchill figure, and Trump's like always on the wrong side of history. Always on the wrong side of history. Like whether he's like believes Putin over like the CIA, or he's trying to blackmail Zelensky. And what was he withholding? Military equipment. This is before Russia invaded, and it's like, so he's not giving weapons to Ukraine. He's hanging out with Putin.
Although can we say that the Pentagon was saying today they sent $6.2 billion or something crazy instead of what they did, like they'd have an accounting error. Did you see that?
Yeah, but it was like not. It wasn't like we spent too much. It was like we barely spent any of the money that we thought we spent. It was like 620 million instead of 6.2 billion. We thought we gave them 6.2 billion, and it was like 620 million. I suppose something like that. I thought.
I'll have to reread it, but that seemed interesting.
Yeah, it was like they're like, and people were pissed. They're like, "You're saying you're giving us 6 billion, but you didn't give us shit." I think that's what and it wasn't like they didn't want to give them the 6 billion. It's just that they fucked it up. Like when you're dealing with because we're not actually giving them cash, we're giving them weapons, and we're doing the math on how much these cost, and they're factoring in depreciation on these weapons. So that's why when they said it's an accounting error, it's like we gave you all this shit and we thought it was worth 6.2 billion. Turns out it was worth like a tenth of that. So sorry, we'll give you 9 times more now, or 10 times more. That's what that is. Trust me, dude. We want to give them all the weapons we possibly fucking can. Well, except for, I guess, jets.
All right, last topic. Did you see anything of this Donald Trump interview on Fox News? It was
with Brett Baer.
Yeah, it was probably one of the cringiest fucking things I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, do you think he just he totally subverts his own case when he talks? He literally says that he gave them some, but not all of them. Said they were mixed in with his T-shirts. And
some like
newspaper
his golf shirt,
his golf shirts, and newspaper clip and pants
and shoes. I know, what an idiot. But yeah, like Lawrence O'Donnell, my boy from Boston, he said on MSNBC, he was like, I guarantee you, after that interview, all of Trump's lawyers were looking for the closest. No, Chris Christie said this. Yeah, Chris Christie said this. They're looking for a window to jump out of, because he was just saying it's so fucking bad. Like he just basically admits to doing everything that he's accused of.
Yeah, that's what
which he had already done, but
that's
he's doing it like thoroughly.
And that's what the indictment said, that he'd only given some of the documents back, not all of them, and basically he admitted to what the indictment said that he did.
Yeah, to everything.
It's impressive. It's impressively stupid.
I know. Why is he out talking at all? You're charged with like really
because
serious crimes.
because
But this is what he does always. Yeah, he thinks he's like his best lawyer.
why didn't you hand them over? Fox anchor Brett Baer asked Trump in the interview. Because I had boxes. I wanted to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over to the National Archives yet. And I was very busy, as you've sort of seen, which was incredible. Before I sent boxes over, I had to take all my things out. These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things: golf shirts, pants, clothing, shoes. There were many things.
Does that? I know. Did he think that was going to make everybody feel comfortable when he said like that there was classified documents like just thrown
He,
about with shoes?
he was just like blabbing all over the place and just making it worse for himself. He was so defensive, and they were like, whenever Brett Baer asked him, "Hey, how would you get like an independent female voter to vote for you since you lost last time?" He's like, "Well, first of all, I won, so let's get that straight." He didn't even answer the question. He just started rambling about how he won the last election and how it was stolen and how there was fake ballots and everything was fake and yada yada yada. And he just asked them like, how do you get independent female voter to vote for you next election? And then he just went on about conspiracy theories, about like his bullshit. The rest of that portion of the conversation didn't even answer the question.
I know Trump is like back on his bullshit and like not in a cool way. Like I'm back on my bullshit, but that's like positive. Trump's back on his bullshit.
Back on my
And
positive bullshit.
that's right.
Hey, hey, what's up? Back on my positive
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well, just to close that interview out, like, cause I don't, it's like there's been a lot of Trump lately. So yeah, he just reiterated that he's a fucking criminal scumbag.
Yeah, I
Degenerate
mean, I guess I
scumbag.
put it in here more just because it was like it. It's so interesting to see because he's going out there and now he's really trying to like change the narrative or make some power play move like we've seen him do it before, and it doesn't have the same effect because there's so much in this indictment. It's so detailed. There's so many things. He's also already been convicted of other stuff or found guilty in civil court. He's already been going through the fucking ringer on all this stuff that it's just like, and it's the same shit. He's like a
What
broken
what I
record.
I know it is the same shit, definitely. What I find comfort in is when I hear and like somebody say, which I know is true, all this shit that's happening to him is definitely not making like an independent or Democrat flip sides and be like, oh, I actually want to vote for him now. So
Mm-mm.
that like we all know that's not like there's probably not a single fucking Democrat that has heard this like indictment shit and is now gonna vote for Trump over Biden. Definitely not and not a single independent. So he's not gaining voters. And like if Biden didn't like whoop his ass by what was it, 7 million and get the most votes of any president in history, Trump would have had the most votes of any president in history. So he has to make up 7 million in this next election, and he's not going to do it. And when people say this, it makes me mad but it might be true that Trump's the only one who can lose to Biden at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of people that could lose to Biden on the right
I
side.
think so too. But like they're saying, like, how about this? Trump's the only one who can't win.
Yeah, like yeah, I don't think Trump has a chance.
Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck are the Republicans
As we're
even
like, if
doing?
Chris Christie got the nomination, I could see him potentially being nominated.
Yeah, me too. And like I'm telling you, like everybody dismisses Chris Christie like as like a rule when they bring him up on TV. They like what he's doing, like talking shit about Trump, like in a real way. But they're always like, he's not gonna get the domination. But
Because he's ran like 1,000 times, and there's a lot of
okay, but put him up, put
forever
him.
Trump people that hate him. So there's a
Okay, it
big
doesn't matter. I
sect.
don't care. So, like, if you just took Trump out of it, you're telling me Christie's not a better candidate than everybody else running?
I'm not saying he's not, but some people are infatuated with like DeSantis or something. People,
Why'd you gotta say infatuated when you were talking about Christie?
I was talking about Ron DeSantis, Meatball Ron,
Oh,
actually,
meatball Ron. I was talking about Trump.
but
They're all
but like there's a lot of people that would lean to that side or more to the extreme stuff. So you'll maybe see some forever Trump people vote for RFK Jr., who's like a lunatic. Um,
fucking moron.
but so there's all, and he's running as a Democrat, which is like the
I
wildest
know,
shit.
but yeah, we're not worried about him.
But he's not. He's like a crazy anti-vaxxer. He's like a male Jenny McCarthy. Um,
Yeah, he's like an anti-vaxxer before COVID.
oh yeah, big time, and has been for a long time.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi radiation opens up the blood. He said on, I think it was Joe Rogan, that Wi-Fi radiation opens up the blood barrier in your brain and lets toxins in your body get into your brain. And that
He also said that antidepressants cause school shootings.
said all sorts of stupid, wild shit.
Yeah, like, we shouldn't be promoting his fucking.
No, I'm just saying
theories.
that's just so wild to me to like.
But people do need to know like what he actually stands for. So
Oh yeah,
like,
I think that
yeah, because you just might hear Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and you're like, oh fuck, like that would be a nice change. It's a Kennedy, we can trust him, and it's like no.
it'd be interesting to watch him at a debate.
Yeah, worse than Hunter Biden.
Yeah, he's a lunatic. He's a lunatic.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, except for meditate, bitches. And your boy is alcohol free for 3 days today.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, just
Another
trying to
round
get
of
my
applause.
mind right, trying to get my body, spirit right.
Well, that's good, man. I'm proud of you, dude.
I drank a Mountain Dew earlier though,
Oh, look out. Was it a regular or Baja Blast?
regular.
Okay. At least it wasn't Baja, bro. You go Baja on me.
No, I was just doing the Dew.
Oh, no, you're good. Well, shit, man.
I'm the
92.
shit like do.
92.
That's right.
And Chris Paul traded to the Wizards. Fuck you, Chris Paul.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think he traded Bradley Beal to
To the Suns?
the Suns.
Nice. I didn't see that, but
I hate Chris Paul.
I was waiting for
so
that.
hate Chris Paul. So that's
Well, it's not like you're a Wizards fan.
true, but I hate Chris Paul.
Now he's on the worst team in the league, and Bradley Beal gets a golden parachute and to play with Booker and Durant.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then the draft's on Thursday.
True. They just make that all run together, don't they? They do a pretty
Yeah.
good job. Everything's like year round at this point.
I know, I like it.
Well, shit, man. But you be good. Y'all be safe. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything that Mr. Goody wouldn't do. And peace out.
Shout out.
Fuck yourselves.
Hey.
Recording stopped.
Oh.